industry. At the heart of every casino game, there's a complex dance of mathematics and chance. Each roll of the dice, each spin of the wheel, each dealt hand, is governed by the laws of probability. These probabilities are meticulously calculated to ensure that, over the long run, the casino always comes out on top. This is what we call the house edge. Imagine a simple coin toss. If the coin is fair, the chances of landing heads or tails are equal. A 50-50 split. But now, let's say you're in a casino, and they offer you a game where you win if you get heads. But if it lands on tails, the house wins. Seems fair, right? But here's the catch. If you win, you get your money back plus 95%. If the house wins, they take it all. This 5% disparity is the house edge. Over time, this slight imbalance in the payoffs ensures that the casino will always win. The house edge is designed to be small enough to keep players hopeful, yet significant enough to secure a steady profit for the casino. It's an unforgiving mathematical certainty that grinds away at every gambler's stake, a subtle siphon of wealth from the pockets of the many into the coffers of the few. Yet this is not a story of defeat, but one of cunning and audacity. This is a tale about a man who dared to challenge the mathematical fortress that is the casino industry. A man who looked at the house edge and asked the question, what if this edge could be beaten? What if the odds could be swung in favor of the player? But what if someone could turn the tables, swing the odds in their favor? Enter Gonzalo Garcia Pelayo. Gonzalo Garcia Pelayo, a Spanish record producer and film director, was not a man to be daunted by the house edge. Deeply rooted in the vibrant culture of Spain, Garcia Pelayo was a man of many talents. He was not just a creator of music and film, he was also a risk-taker, a man fascinated by odds and probabilities. His interest in gambling was not a mere pastime, but a quest to crack the code, to beat the system. He dabbled with the lottery, exploring patterns and sequences, hoping to find a loophole, but luck was not on his side. Undeterred, he turned his attention to horse racing, studying forms and track conditions, yet success eluded him once again. But it was the roulette wheel that would soon become his golden goose. Garcia Pelayo had a theory: no two roulette wheels are perfectly alike. This simple yet profound idea was the genesis of a strategy that would later become a legendary tale in the annals of gambling history. Garcia Pelayo believed that each roulette wheel, despite being a meticulously crafted piece of machinery, carried its own unique quirks and idiosyncrasies. He theorized that minute mechanical differences, imperceptible to the casual observer, could significantly impact the game's results. These discrepancies, he proposed, could cause specific numbers to pop up more frequently than others, subtly skewing the supposedly random outcomes. Intrigued by this unconventional hypothesis, Garcia Pelayo began an extensive investigation at a casino in Madrid. His method was painstakingly meticulous, bordering on obsessive. He would spend countless hours observing the roulette wheels, noting each spin's outcome with the precision of a scientist recording experimental data. His approach was grounded in the concept of bias analysis. He reasoned that if a wheel had any mechanical bias, no matter how small, it would inevitably lead to certain numbers being favored over others. By identifying these biases, he could potentially predict the most likely outcomes and tilt the odds in his favor. To test his theory, Garcia Pelayo started recording the results of each spin. He would note down the winning numbers, the velocity of the wheel, the trajectory of the ball, and countless other variables. This rigorous data collection spanned many months, with Garcia Pelayo tirelessly recording thousands of spins. It was a monumental task, demanding incredible patience and unwavering dedication. But Garcia Pelayo was unrelenting. He firmly believed in his theory and was willing to stake his time and resources on its validity. Over time, patterns began to emerge from the sea of data. Garcia Pelayo noticed that certain numbers did indeed appear more frequently, suggesting the presence of mechanical biases in the roulette wheels. These findings were the first glimmers of validation for his theory. His hours of observation and note-taking started to pay off. With his theory in hand and data at his disposal, Garcia Pelayo set out to beat the casino at its own game. Armed with a plan, he began to bet on the numbers that showed up most frequently. His strategy was simple, yet effective. He played the odds in a game where the house was supposed to always have the advantage. Garcia Pelayo's initial successes were modest, but consistent. He didn't win every time, but he won more often than he lost. This was a stark contrast to the typical casino goer, who would typically leave with less money than they came with. As his winnings grew, so did his confidence. He began to bet more heavily on his favored numbers, and his profits soared. He was a man on a mission, and the roulette wheel was his battlefield. Yet, as he continued to rake in the winnings, the casino grew suspicious. They watched as Garcia Pelayo consistently beat the odds time and time again. They saw the same numbers come up, the same bets placed, and the same man walking away with their money. They couldn't figure out his strategy, but they knew something was amiss. They started to monitor his games more closely, looking for any sign of cheating or foul play. But Garcia Pelayo was not a cheater. He was simply a man who had figured out how to turn the odds in his favor. The casino was not amused. They had built their empire on the principle that the house always wins. And here was a man who was turning that principle on its head. They knew they had to do something. And so, the casino began to change the roulette wheels more frequently, hoping to disrupt Garcia Pelayo's strategy. But he was undeterred. He knew that as long as the wheels were imperfect, he could still win. But the casino was onto him, and his winning streak was about to face a major hurdle. Garcia Pelayo was banned from the casino, but he didn't go quietly. No, indeed. The Spanish gambler, famed for his roulette mastery, was not one to back down. His expulsion from the casino sparked a legal battle that would make headlines across the globe. In the aftermath of his ban, Garcia Pelayo found himself in the crosshairs of the Spanish legal system. The casino alleged that his winnings were not the result of luck or skill, but of fraudulent practices. The initial court ruling was not in his favor. Found guilty of cheating, the roulette wizard's fortune seemed to be on a downturn. But Garcia Pelayo, much like at the roulette table, was not one to accept defeat. He appealed the court's decision, arguing that his method did not constitute cheating but was a strategy built on keen observation and statistical analysis. It was a high-stakes gamble in a different kind of court, and all eyes were on the man who had dared to beat the casino. The appeal was a game-changer. The court overturned the initial verdict, acquitting Garcia Pelayo of all charges. His strategy was deemed legal, his winnings rightfully earned. It was a victory not just for Garcia Pelayo, but for all those who believed in the power of strategy over blind luck. With his name cleared and his method validated, Garcia Pelayo set his sights on the city of dreams, Las Vegas. The neon-lit desert paradise was home to some of the biggest casinos in the world, and the Spaniard was ready to try his luck on a grander scale. His subsequent wins in Las Vegas further cemented his reputation as a master strategist, and his story spread like wildfire among gambling enthusiasts worldwide. Garcia Pelayo's legacy in the world of gambling is one of audacity and intelligence. His method, based on identifying biased roulette wheels through rigorous analysis, revolutionized the way many perceived the game. It was no longer a game purely of chance, but a battlefield where observation and strategy could tilt the odds in one's favor. But perhaps the most significant part of his legacy is the inspiration he provides to gamblers and strategists alike. His story is a reminder that even in games of chance, there's room for skill and strategy. It's a testament to the power of observation, the value of persistence, and the importance of knowing when to push your luck. Today, Gonzalo Garcia Pelayo is revered as a legend in the world of gambling. His story has been told in books, documentaries, and even a feature film. His method continues to be studied and applied by aspiring roulette strategists. His name, a synonym for audacity and intelligence, continues to echo in the hallowed halls of casinos worldwide. Gonzalo Garcia Pelayo, the man who beat the casino, is a testament to the power of observation, strategy, and a little bit of luck. And as the roulette wheel continues to spin, his legacy lives on, inspiring a new generation of gamblers to challenge the odds, just as he did.